The strategy behind studio movie releases has changed over the decades, but standards set by Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in the 1930s still holds up today. Because of that, the upcoming live-action movie, Snow White, currently facing a lot of criticisms regarding the cast, forced woke culture of Disney for cash, for twisting the stories, and about lead actress Rachel Zegler's woke, feminist remarks. So, let's analyze why Disney's Snow White getting a lot of critic hits. Disney's first animated feature film, Snow White, has stood the test of time and is one of the most influential movies ever made, judging by its place in the Library of Congress's National Film Registry. While it certainly broke new ground for animation, it also had a tremendous influence on how movies were promoted before, during, and after their release. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the ultimate dice roll for Disney, given the time and resources that went into its creation. But the gamble paid off in several ways. Perhaps most importantly, it showed Disney, and the rest of the film industry, how important the music in a movie, the story could be in its widespread appeal. The music of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was so significant, in fact, it started a new trend that is going as strong as ever more than 85 years later. Meanwhile, shocking news awaits the fans who loved Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The Disney fan favorite is getting a live-action remake with a modern twist, starring Rachel Zegler as the new princess. While the fans loved the story, Rachel has some opposite views over how she feels about Snow White, and her thoughts are definitely not being welcomed by the movie fans. Rachel Zegler's remarks has been enduring a long melodramatic backlash that refuses to die. In a recent interview with the media, Rachel, who plays Snow White in the titular film, opened up about the movie and put forward a spoiler that it was no longer about a princess finding her prince and falling in love. It's no longer 1937. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not dreaming about true love, said Rachel. The lead actress, who has only watched the movie once for filming purposes, essentially called the prince a stalker, adding that the new movie was not all about love, and the prince's scenes, played by Andrew Bernard, might be cut too. While netizens are totally in support of a woman pursuing a career and life alongside love, the way the lead actress berated the original story has not left the fans happy. All the lovers of the original story suggest the movie was much more than only love. It stood for kindness, leadership, courage, and hope. A user took to Twitter to share their views for the same, "I have no idea who TF Rachel Zegler is, but now I don't like her BC of the way she talks about Snow White LMFAO. It's a classic. Not every single movie today needs to be about women in power. We can have movies about princesses being saved by a prince." Many are thinking of boycotting the movie. Snow White was about being kind, soft, and gentle. Now she's something different. Is she running for president or something in this new movie? I don't want to see it. Rachel's interpretation of the story indicates that the message of the movie did not reach her for sure. The live-action movie has Gal Gadot playing the evil queen and is a Disney production. Fans and critics, as always, dismiss Disney's live-action remakes as cash grabs, millennial nostalgia bait that rarely hold up to the craftsmanship of the original animated films. As Disney continues to churn out remakes, the critical discourse has been infected by reactionary content creators who blend anti-woke talking points with fan grievances, and Snow White has proved no exception. When first announced, the casting of West Side Story star Rachel Zegler as the titular Snow White sparked racist backlash from commentators who believed that Zegler, who is of Colombian and Polish descent, wasn't pale enough for the part, as the princess is described as having skin as white as snow. Zegler acknowledged the backlash in an interview with Variety, stating that she was trending on Twitter for days because all of the people were angry. Zegler went on to emphasize that Snow White is really a big deal in Spanish-speaking countries and expressed pride at playing a Latina princess. On X, aka Twitter, Zegler posted pictures of herself dressed as various Disney princesses as a child, writing, "Extremely appreciative of the love I feel from those defending me online, but please don't tag me in the nonsensical discourse about my casting. I really truly do not want to see it. So I leave you these photos. I hope every child knows they can be a princess no matter what. Snow White and the Seven Companions." Another interview at the D23 Expo saw Zegler describe Prince Charming, who awakens sleeping Snow White with a kiss, as a guy who literally stalks her. She called that part of the story weird and said they didn't do that this time. Zegler also joked that the scenes featuring Prince Charming could get cut, adding, "Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby." While Zegler did not respond directly to the controversy, she wrote on X, "Remember to be kind. Treat each other with patience and empathy. Remember that you are loved unconditionally, no matter your mistakes, no matter your misunderstandings." David Hand, the son of the original 1937 Snow White director, joined the conversation. "They change the stories. They change the thought processes of the characters. They just aren't the original stories anymore. They're making up new woke things, and I'm just not into any of that," Hand said. Snow White, however, has been retold many times. Indeed, the very idea of an original version of a fairy tale is a fiction, as fairy tales are an oral tradition that are fluid by nature. Even the Brothers Grimm revised their stories several times to suit the cultural expectations of the time. In the original folk and fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm, the prince does not wake sleeping Snow White with a kiss. A servant slaps Snow White on the back, prompting her to cough up the poison apple and wake up. Disney has decided to push back the 2024 release date for Snow White to March 21st, 2025. Disney also shared a new image of Zegler in costumes as Snow White alongside her companions, whose appearance resembles the original cartoon. They are not described as dwarfs or bandits by Disney. While 90s classics such as Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin proved simple enough to adapt to live action, Disney has struggled with old masterpieces like Dumbo, Pinocchio, and seemingly Snow White. After all, these films were made more than 80 years ago, and cultural expectations have shifted. So, what do you think is going to happen with the new adaptation of Snow White and a different set of characters? Will Disney survive? Comment down your thoughts. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more. See you.